Hey lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please check out some of my other videos and subscribe to my channel. So today's video, I am doing an application of polygel, and I'm going to use the base coat instead of the slip solution or the rubbing alcohol. And also I'm doing all of this with hand filing. I'm not using an e-file. So I am going to use my Flexihand. So a couple of the things in this video only apply to the Flexihand. First I'm going to go ahead and apply these nail tips. So I have to create the nail bed for the Flexihand. And these are just full coverage tips that I got off Amazon. I would have provided the link for these. However, I did go and check. I ordered these back in 2019, and so they're no longer available on Amazon. So if you need full coverage nail tips for your Flexihand, then you can just look up full coverage nail tips. I'm going to go in with a 100-180 grit file, but as I always say, make sure you score or season the file. So basically just take another file and file all of the edges 100% completely all around the file, because you will cut yourself. You can cut yourself if you are filing and you hit your skin, especially when you're filing your sidewalls. So make sure that you score or season your file. So I'm going to go ahead and just etch the surface of the nail. It might look like I'm going in a little bit rougher, which I am because these are plastic tips. But when you're doing this on yourself, after you've removed the cuticle, of course, any cuticle that's on the skin or any cuticle that's on the nail, after you've done that, you want to go in and etch the surface of the nail. And you don't want to do this aggressive. You want to just gently do it. You just want to do little nicks in the nail. And these nail tips that I'm creating the nail bed, so this only applies to the Flexihand. These are a little weird. I cleaned the hand with alcohol, but I didn't let it dry. And so I put the tips in, and I don't know, they just started to crack. So whatever, after you've etched the surface of your nail, you want to go ahead and knock all that dust off. And then you want to size your nail tips. So your nail tips need to cover sidewall to sidewall. And if the nail tip isn't the perfect size, just file it down with your nail file. These tips I'm using are just some random stiletto tips that I got off Amazon. I do not recommend using these. These are really flimsy. They're pretty flat. Like, these aren't really good nail tips. I use them mainly just to practice with or do swatch videos with. But I would not use this to build out my nail on myself if I were to use nail tips. I generally, lately I've been using full coverage nail tips, which I have multiple videos on. Kara Sky nail tips, and then some other full coverage nail tips that you can see. I will link a couple of those videos in the cards above. So you can definitely use those for this method as well. So watch those videos and see how to apply them, and then you could come back and then apply the polygel. So pretty much at every step, if you've done any filing, just try and keep all the dust off the surface of the nail. So before we really get into applying our gel and all that stuff, we want to clean the surface of the nail, and we also want to dehydrate the nail. You can use a gel cleanser. Usually these are blue, or you can use alcohol, or you can use a dehydrator. I prefer to use alcohol and a lint-free wipe, but the gel cleanser you can make your own with mixing alcohol and acetone. I guess it's just 50-50. I've never made my own, but just look up DIY dehydrators or nail cleanser, and I'm sure a million YouTube videos will pop up. So now you want to go in with your primer. And what I can say about the primer is you definitely want to avoid getting this on your cuticles or your sidewalls. Avoid getting it on any skin, because the product's going to stick to it. So the primer is going to stick to your skin, and the product's going to stick on top of that, and you're going to have a hard time getting that off your skin. So just avoid your skin at any point. So now I'm just applying the nail tips. I'm just using base coat to apply. However, you can use whatever you want. Well, not whatever you want. You can use base coat or you can use glue. The lamp that I'm using, if you want to know more information about that, I will link that video above. It's from XVX. So I will link that above if you're interested in the lamp that I'm using. So just apply all your tips. Make sure if you're using the gel base coat, there's no air bubbles. Normally, if you were applying these tips to your nails, you wouldn't be going as far down the nail. They would mostly just be like maybe a quarter of an inch on your nail at the tip. But again, as I said earlier, I really don't like these tips. These tips are terrible. So that was just the best way for me to get them on the nail and then to look decent. So I did use these today just because of the length, because I really wanted to go with a long nail. And I didn't want to use any more of my full coverage tips because I am running a little bit low on those. So I didn't want to use those for this video today. So yeah, just make sure that once you apply it, you're flash curing it. So if you don't have a lamp like this, you can just place the nail and hold it in place right outside of your lamp, your regular lamp that's turned on. And once you kind of feel like the nail's not slipping, then you can place that in the lamp for the full cure. So once you kind of feel the nail is in place. So I just flash cured here, and then I eventually put everything in the lamp and cured it for 60 seconds to give it that full full cure, excuse me. But you don't need a lamp like this to do that. You can, again, just place it near the opening of the lamp with it turned on and hold it into place. And when you feel the nail not moving anymore, then pop it in the lamp. So you also, after you do all that, excuse me, after you've applied your tips, you've given it that full cure, or you've glued them on, you just want to blend the tip into the surface of the nail. But you want to avoid any additional filing on your natural nail. So just go in, if you're using a hand file, I like the part that's rounded, have that closer to your cuticle, the rounded part of the file. And this video is sped up, so it looks like I'm going faster than I am. But if you can't file fast, just take your time, because you really want to avoid going so fast that you nick your skin or anything like that. So just take your time in this step. And then if you have to use the corner of the files, the edges of the files, then definitely do that as well. But essentially, you just want to take your time and then just blend that into the natural nail the best way that you can. And again, if these were normal tips, you would not be placing them as far down on the nail as I have here. So just that's another thing to keep in mind. You also want to make sure that you're etching the surface of the entire nail, because gel doesn't like to stick to smooth surfaces. So you want to make sure that you pretty much take off the shine of the nail. But yes, etch the surface of the nail. And before you continue, you want to, again, remove all of the dust that is on the nail from filing. And for the purpose of this video, the filing's not perfect, the blending's not perfect, but I did keep most of the blending in so that you can kind of get an idea of what I'm talking about. If it doesn't make sense, leave me a comment below, ask me a question, and I will definitely answer you. So again, do any shaping you want and etch the surface of the nail, and then you want to clean off the surface of the nail, removing all the dust and any lint or whatever. So do that with alcohol. I use alcohol. Now it's time to apply your base coat. So go ahead and apply your base coat to the entire nail, including your cuticle area all the way to the tip of the nail, and then you're going to cure that in the lamp for 60 seconds. Make sure you read the instructions that's on your products. Some cure 30 seconds, some cure 60 seconds. Sometimes it depends on the lamp that you're using. So just always read the instructions for the proper curing time. But generally, base coat's 30 or 60 seconds, but just read the instructions. So there's two ways I'm going to show you how to do this. The first way I'm showing you is I'm just going in with the big blob or big bead of polygel, and I'm going to place that near the cuticle but not at the cuticle. Then I'm going to apply some base coat to the polygel, which I didn't like. I just brushed the top with the base coat. I didn't like that, so I applied it to my brush. You might like it that way. I didn't like it that way. So I felt it getting a little sticky. So when you're brushing it and the surface isn't really shiny and your brush is starting to stick, you might want to apply a little bit more base coat. You could apply it directly to the polygel, or you could apply it to the brush that you're using. For me, I liked it better applying it to the brush. And then you just want to smooth out the cuticle area. You just pat that into place and then smooth out to the side walls. But you want to leave the bulk of the polygel in the center of the nail. And here I've smoothed out all of the polygel, and the excess, I'm just going to take that off and place it back where I placed my first bead. So that way I can continue to build the shape of the nail. I will say that this way is a little bit harder than the next way that I'm going to show you. But you can do it this way if you are comfortable. It's really up to you. So the next way I will be doing it in 2 layers, and this way I just did it in 1. Well, kind of 1. Just keep watching and then you'll kind of get what I'm saying. So whenever your polygel starts to get sticky, or it's not moving, or that shiny base, you don't see the shine of the base coat anymore, then just add a little bit more base coat. Again, keep the bulk of the polygel in the middle of the nail. Keep it, you don't want bulky cuticles or bulky side walls. And you just want to use a very light touch and smooth it out. This polygel is a softer polygel, and I noticed that with the base coat, it moves the polygel a lot easier. So different polygels do have different firmness to them. So just be aware of how you're touching the polygel. If every pat you do or every time you brush it, you're leaving a dent in the polygel, then you're applying too much pressure. And you also want to go in and then smooth it from the cuticle to the tip as light pressure as you can to kind of correct any shape. So then you put that in the lamp and cure that for 60 seconds or per instructions of the polygel. So this is the second way that I'm showing. I'm going in the same way. I put a bead of polygel near the cuticle area. I did go in with a smaller bead. So I'm patting that into place. I'm not using a lot of pressure. I'm patting that into place near the cuticle and the side wall, and then off camera right there I just added some more of the base coat, and then I'm slowly pulling it away from pulling it down the nail. So you want to like pat and pull, but you're using the lightest of pressure. And then I'm still trying to keep my cuticle and my side walls thin, and then giving long strokes from cuticle to the tip of the nail. The more pressure you get, the more pressure you use, then you can have bumps or lumps in the nail. So I have that first layer pretty much the way that I like it, and I'm going to go ahead and flash cure that for about 15 seconds. I'm going to go in with another bead of polygel and do the same thing. The cuticle area, I like how it looks. It's a little bit sheer, so I want to add a little bit more of that polygel to that area. And then if I've patted too far up the nail, just do it in reverse, and then bring some of that polygel back to that area. And then just keeping my side walls as thin as possible and my cuticle area as thin as possible. You still need product here, but you don't want the bulk of the product there. So when you're patting it and pulling it on this second layer, you want to make sure you have enough where your apex should be and where all the strength of the nail should be. And since this is a long nail, I'm going to kind of have a lot more polygel down the nail. And there's kind of a flat area there. So what I'm going to do is go in with a little bit more base coat and then pull some of that polygel back to that area, and then see, it's not as flat, and then brush from cuticle to the tip. So it's pretty, you do have to practice, you do have to look at your nail from all angles, but the movement of the polygel with the base coat is a lot easier than with the slip solution or the alcohol. And initially I did see, like, I have a bunch of different brands of polygel. So I would see them say, like, use the base coat. And I'm like, what are they talking about? So I never tried it. I was just like, yeah, whatever. So then there was a couple channels that I watch, and I saw that they use the base coat with their polygel. So I was like, hey, let me try that. So the channels that I've seen used it were Nailed by Nikki and Femi Beauty. So they have done this before, so I don't want to take credit for this idea because it wasn't my idea. I did see it on other YouTube channels before I tried it, and I think Baby Girl Nails has done it too. I'm not 100% sure, but this is not my idea. I've seen it on YouTube, and then in some of your polygel kits, some of the instructions do say to use the base coat, so it wasn't my idea. Can't take credit for that. But if you've personally used this method, and you have a video and you've used this method, drop your link in the comments below, so that other people can see other people doing this method. So only drop links to videos using base coat with polygel. I don't need your oh wait, that sounded rude. Don't post just your plain polygel videos or your gel videos. Only polygel videos using base coat, so that other people can see those videos that are similar to this one. If your video might not be coming up recommended, I am more than happy for you to put your link in my comments, but it only needs to be a polygel video using base coat. Thank you. So this is the third nail I'm doing. I'm not going to go into a bunch of details about that again. If you want to hear me explain it again, finish watching this video and then start it over from the beginning and then watch it again. Or just rewind. It doesn't really matter. So that one didn't come out as nice. So here's my nails. Some of them came out really, really good. And then this thumb is a mess. And then some of them I kind of rushed through because I was kind of hungry and I wanted to go to get a salad from this place that I really, really love. So I kind of rushed through some of these nails. But you see the nails that I took my time on, they definitely had pretty much perfect shaping. So I'm going to show you how to do the filing. I'm only showing you one nail. So again, if you want to see it again, then just watch the video again. So the first thing I do when I'm filing is I do my sidewalls and pull, like, how do I say this? Push your skin down a little bit if it's close to your sidewall so that you are not nicking your skin with that file. Again, even though you season your file, you still can cut yourself with the file. So kind of pull the skin back and then file. And when you're filing, especially with long nails, you want to support the nail so the nail's not going side to side like ripping from your nail bed. So support the nail while you're filing. So clean up the shape on the side walls. We want to keep our side walls thin, but keep in mind, we didn't put a lot of product there, so we don't want to do a lot of filing there either. We don't want to file off the product. So after you have the shape pretty much what you like, then just start going over the top and smoothing smoothing out the surface. And then just run your finger along the surface to see if there's any bumps or lumps. That's pretty much it. Like, look at the finger from the nail from different angles. If there's a dip or there's a lump, then, you know, just apply a little bit more pressure there and file a little bit more. But if you smooth out the surface like I showed you, chances are you probably don't have any dips or bumps or lumps, or not that many at least. So the closer you get to your cuticle, the slower you want to file. And this is what I like about these files by Macart, which are also on Amazon. I will look for them and leave the link in the description box. Is I like the rounded edge because I get a better filing of the cuticle area. But you want this clip is sped up, but you want to go slow. Like, you want to take your time around your cuticle area. You do not want to cut yourself. You do not want to have your cuticle area all torn up. So if you can't get super, super close to that area, then you could go in with your buffer. And then when I go in with my buffer, it's the same thing. You just want to go a little bit slower. If you want to use the ends or the pointed part or the rounded part of the buffer, then that's also good for that area as well. So that's pretty much filing. It does take a while if it's not something you're used to, but just keep trying, keep edit. It took me a while, and that's why I was playing with this application and I was like, whoa, I don't have to do a lot of filing with this. So I really, really liked it a lot, and I think it would be good for beginners. I wish I would have done this in the beginning. It would have saved me a lot of time. One thing that I also noticed with the filing of the polygel with the base coat is the polygel isn't as soft. So generally when you're filing gel products like polygel or builder gel, you can go in with your 100 grit file. I had to use my 180 grit file, so filing it kind of felt more hard like acrylic. And that was using the base coat instead of the alcohol. So let me know what you guys think down below. If you have tried this method, how it worked out for you. Do you like it better? I definitely do like it better this way, and I don't think I'm going to be using alcohol again, but that's good because it's kind of hard to find alcohol in stores right now. So you could use your base coat. You still need alcohol to wipe off the sticky layer of the nails and things like that, but you don't need it for applying your poly gel if you don't want to use it. So I am going to go in with a crystal cluster on this nail, and then I'm going to just put a dab of poly gel and place that crystal right in the poly gel. And you could see there's poly gel out on the sides, which is going to mean something in a little while, not right now. But I'm going to add a little bit more of the crystals or whatever, but I'm not covering that poly gel all the way. There's still going to be some poly gel exposed. And that matters because when you cure it, the same with the glue that you'll apply your crystals with, the gel glues, whatever's not covered is sticky. So you're going to get all kinds of dirt and lint like stuck to that area, to that sticky layer. There's always a sticky inhibition layer on top of the glue that you use for your crystals, as well as the poly gel. So when it's time to apply your top coat, you want to have a detailer brush, or once you apply your glue or your poly gel, just to go right away on top of that with the base coat without curing anything. So you could apply that lump of poly gel, go in with your top coat right away. Do not cure it, then apply your crystals. That will get rid of the sticky layer. But if you don't, then you're going to have to use a detailer brush, which I will be showing you shortly. I did flash cure these. For that cluster, you want to make sure that that entire nail is cured for about 2 minutes. So all that poly gel underneath that crystal is cured and it doesn't fall off. So I'm just applying the crystals here, and then I flash cure them so they stop moving, and then I just pretty much do the same thing on each nail. Nothing special here. I got this glue off AliExpress. You guys heard me say it all the time. I won't leave the link just because I only use this to practice with, but if you want to place your crystal glues, you can use your detailer brush and just dip it in whatever pot you have. That way you can have precision, so you don't have to go out and buy this. I probably won't buy it again, but I have it, so I'm going to use it. So just apply the crystals and flash cure them. And because there's no light hitting this pinky, I'm going to go ahead and whatever is stuck in this pinky, after I remove that, I'm going to go ahead and work on that nail. What else do I want to add about applying the crystals? Yeah, nothing really. So just in a second, I will go over the detailer brush and the top coat, but just a couple seconds. I'm not going to be speaking, but I will be back in a sec. Okay, so I'm back and I just have a detailer brush or liner brush. I just dip that in my top coat and I just go around the cuticle area, and then just cover up as much as that gel glue and the poly gel on that cluster finger that is exposed as I can. And then I'm not going to cure that. I'm just going to go in and brush on my top coat and then cure everything in the lamp for 60 seconds, whatever the instructions say. But I always do 2 minutes because I swear it comes out shinier, which probably isn't true, but that's just what I think. So overall, I really, really like how much easier it was and how much neater it was for me to apply the poly gel with the base coat instead of the alcohol. I didn't have the wet brush saturated and then going into my cuticle area and my side walls. I really like this application better, and like I said before, I probably won't go back to using slip solution nor alcohol. So let me know what you guys think. And again, if you have a polygel video that you use base coat to apply, definitely leave that link in the comments down below so everyone can see other videos. If you like this video, definitely give it a thumbs up. Definitely leave a comment. Let me know what you think. Let me know what other types of videos you want to see from me. If you are new to my channel, I really do hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my channel and then turn on your notifications. Also, there are videos linked in the cards above, linked in the cards using full coverage nail tips. I will have to play my voiceover back to see what else I said I was gonna link above. Oh, the lamp that I use. So check those videos out as well. Leave comments on those, like those videos as well. Definitely let me know what you guys think in the comments. I really, really do appreciate all of my subscribers. I appreciate everyone that engages with me on my posts. I try and respond to as many people as I can. I just really, really appreciate you guys. So I wanted to say thank you. So here's the finished set. I really like how these came out. I think they're pretty simple, but they're still really cute. I do love the length. But anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And I am back to my original upload days of Sundays and Wednesdays. So make sure your notifications are on so you don't miss any videos. But I will be back Wednesday. Oh, wait, no. This is what I used in this video. Gershion Natural Pink base coat and top coat. I will link that kit from Amazon in the description box below. I didn't buy the kit, but the kit has everything that you need. My buffer's from Yoyogi. My files are from Macart. This is my favorite polygel brush from Macart. I will leave links to as many things in the comments down below. You can buy the polygel separately, but I couldn't find it. I did find the kit with that same color in it, which will be linked below. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure that you like this, give this video a like, a thumbs up, leave a comment, and make sure that if you're new here that you are subscribed to my channel. Thanks again, and I'll see you back Wednesday for another video.